Hello, it's your boy Nicovelli. You on Nicovelli TV. Make sure you like and subscribe, y'all, at the end of this video. Well, the word is Mr. James Dolan has contracted the coronavirus. I'm going to say it again. Mr. James Dolan has contracted the coronavirus. Let me start off by saying this to my Nicovellians. I would lysol the situation, but nah. Now we know why Spike Lee said he wasn't going to attend no more Knick games. I told y'all, Spike was afraid of that corona. It wasn't James Dolan. He shook James Dolan's hand and said, oh, shit. With all this shit going around, James Dolan got to have it. Because the coronavirus is attacking a lot of the assholes that's walking around in the universe. If you think about the rich, selfish bastards that's out here, that's contacting this disease, y'all. It's unbelievable. Now, Mr. James Dolan, it was you not too long ago who said that you still wanted fans to attend Madison Square Garden, knowing damn well the coronavirus is roaming rapidly. Now look at you. I would lysol the situation, but nah. Look at you, Mr. James Dolan. See, when you treat people like shit, God has a way of coming back. It's called karma, Mr. James Dolan. Now, Mr. James Dolan, let me explain to you how us Knick fans feel. See how you feel like you on your back, you down and out right now, Mr. James Dolan? That's how Knick fans been feeling 40 plus years. 40 plus years. You got my man Spike Lee say he been in Madison Square Garden, I believe at the age of 16? Watching Willis Reed? You got history concerning these New York Knicks, Mr. James Dolan. And you've been disrespectful. You kicked Charles Oakley out the motherfucking arena. You brought blood, sweat, and tears. Not only to the team, but to the franchise. I would lysol the situation, Mr. James Dolan. But nah, it's a shortage of this shit running around here, Mr. James Dolan. It's a shortage of this shit. So I won't do that. But I have a few questions, Mr. James Dolan. Did you find yourself walking into the Barclay instead of Madison Square Garden? I'm going to say it again. Did you find yourself, Mr. James Dolan, walking through the Barclay and not Madison Square Garden? Oh, Mr. James Dolan. Oh, Mr. James Dolan. This whole situation can be done and over with if you just sell a team, Mr. James Dolan. Huh? If you just sell the team. Now look at you, Mr. James Dolan. You got a lot of time to think, Mr. James Dolan. As you call team, Mr. James Dolan, and lay on your back and your head is staring at the top of the ceiling, think of Charles Oakley. Think about what he could have been doing right now, hadn't you not disrespected him. Oh, Mr. James Dolan. God has a way of humbling your ass, Mr. James Dolan. All it takes is a little bit of lysol. What's all the fuss about, Mr. James Dolan? Huh? A little bit of lysol, Mr. James Dolan, and you'll start coughing up respect. And not this coronavirus. You did this to yourself, Mr. James Dolan. I'll say it again. You did this shit to yourself, Mr. James Dolan. All the disrespect. It's unbelievable. Good fucking players don't want to come to New York because of your ass. But this how God is so good. Because you like a slave master. And your players who's on your PlayStation didn't catch the motherfucking corona. Ain't that funny? You don't hear about no Knick players catching the coronavirus, but the goddamn owner. Want to know why, Mr. James Dolan? Huh? Because you was a selfish bastard. And this is God's way. I don't wish death on no one. But God damn it, I wish that the Corona becomes the fucking new owner of Madison Square Garden, because Corona knows what the fuck it's doing. Huh? This coronavirus is doing more good than bad, I tell y'all. Uh-huh. So Mr. James Dolan got the Corona. I know he's not expecting a visitor from Oakley. I know you don't expect Mr. Spike Lee to come visit you. I know, no social distance and all this bullshit. But if the loved ones really want to come see you, you know they can, right? All they gotta do is lysol the situation, Mr. James Dolan. All it takes is a little bit of lysol, and we can clear this whole nonsense up. But nah, not you, Mr. James Dolan. Huh? So you got a lot of time to think, Mr. James Dolan. Think about what you're doing to the city of New York. It's bad enough we got these Net fans out here and the Barclays in Brooklyn. Now Brooklyn is suffering. Yeah, but I love Brooklyn, so you know. A little bit of Lysol spray for Brooklyn on the behalf of the New York Knicks and Knicks fans, because it ain't your fault that these slimy-ass Brooklyn Nets players came to y'all borough, infecting the whole population. I love Brooklyn. But for you, James Dolan, nah. You got to think about the shit that you done. You got to think about that shit. Well, it's your boy, Nickavelli. You on Nickavelli TV. Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe. Peace.